And I think hitting on the practice squad stuff a little bit would be good just because it's what's happening right now. And we could probably add a little input to that. Like, I've seen there's like 5 moves that have happened practice squad
Mhm.
wise sent right before we went live. So I was like, okay, we could touch on those a little bit, get each of our takes on maybe a couple of those, or maybe just something that stands out within that. Like the Peoples Jones one stood out. I was like, okay, that's
Yeah.
probably what some people want to hear about. So we could dive into that too. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, hey, we're live. We're live. We're
That's it.
here. We're
That's
here.
it.
Show's over.
We're here.
Appreciate y'all joining, man. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Screenshot. No, but hey, we're live, man.
Oh yeah.
We're here, and
Yeah.
man, hey, fired up, bro. First time. I think this isn't the first time I've been on a show with you, but it's definitely the
Yeah.
first time it's been us two, or on my.
That's it.
I don't know if you've been on my channel before, but I think it is. And we got my man Avery G with me today. First off, the background looks good. When I saw you come in with that, I was like, okay, this dude
Yeah.
means business. My man,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can tell I can tell like you put that. Did you make that design, or did you have someone make that design? Because I'm not gonna lie, somebody makes some of my designs. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So yeah. So yeah. Originally, I had someone makes the design back in 2020, and the
Mhm.
design for Spirit of Detroit was like, I was just like, first and foremost, my channel was going to be called Detroit Daily. Okay.
Okay.
But I was just like making daily content about news and updates. That's not me, right? I save
Mhm.
that for like the guys who like be on that, like you, Syndicate. You guys like be on that stuff. Like I hear some news from you and Syndicate at the same time. I see it on Twitter. Like it's like y'all just went live and just like, hey, we just signed, we just drafted. I'm like, damn. I'm like, give a minute, like But I had it outsourced out and on Fiverr, obviously, and then I was like, I was telling my buddy it was a lion and stuff.
Fiverr.
I was like, Detroit Daily, that's lame, man. I just want to capture something that's real. I want to really show and really impact the city of Detroit. I want to show something. I want to show the spirit of Detroit, and that's literally what it was. And then all the elements like built and built and built, and now we're in a place where we can really build for the Spirit of Detroit podcast. So
Yeah, I rock with it, man. And he got the jersey on too. Look, you said he
yeah,
came in prepared, bro. I
yeah,
didn't come in prepared at all. You came in prepared. And one thing, I
yeah.
got this little stepbrothers thing that a guy gave me at training camp. I absolutely love that.
Like, you got a lot of memorabilia, bro. You got a
Yeah,
lot of you got the Lions helmets, the bobbleheads, the this, to that.
man.
You got a lot of stuff, man. I ain't gonna lie, like I got a jersey. That's $100. Okay. Like you be having like $1,000,000 worth of stuff. And you had a Kerryon Johnson jersey when the
No,
first
that
time I
wasn't me.
seen.
That
Nah, that
wasn't
was
me. That ain't me,
the
dog.
first
Don't do
time
that to me.
I got home from basic training, and my boy told me, "Hey, this guy come out with a lot of videos." It's like 2017, and I'm looking at, I'm like, wow, this dude really he got the videos. He young. Wow. You think we could do this? Nah, I don't think we could do this. This dude, he got all the stuff. I'm like, yeah, he do. He do.
Watch this. Yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago, I think it was, I got an alert. They're like, bro, 3,000 uploads. I was like, 3,000 uploads is crazy. We had 3,000 a couple days ago, man. It's unreal. It's
Yeah.
crazy to think how long. When did you start? When did you start this officially? Because for me, man, it's crazy. Like, I'm like, yo, I was doing this like a sophomore in high school. The years are flying by, man. It's been like 7, 8 years. How about you? How long have you been?
Yeah.
When did you start YouTube?
It's going on the 4th year. And I can't even say it's the 4th year for real because I had to stop posting content during my deployment. So in 2022,
Right.
I deployed in April and came back that like February from my deployment. And then from that, I got like this IT job, which demanded a lot from me. Like my time in the military was like, you know, I'm gonna get every cert. I'm gonna get every opportunity. I'm gonna take advantage of every cert, every class, every this and that. And I got the opportunity to do that on deployment. So that deployment was like a sporadic year where I might upload one video. But to answer your question fully, I started after Matt Patricia got fired. That's when I started. So when Matt
Okay.
Patricia got fired, I was like, look, man, this has to happen now. Like it can't happen when
Crazy how
Daryl
it's happening.
Bevel's talk. Like this can't happen when I feel like this has to happen today. And I remember feeling a little bit remorseful about it. Like it's going to be a big step. I'm really putting myself out there. I don't know what they're going to say. I don't know how they're going to be. And obviously, you know, Jared Goff. I didn't.
Jared Goff.
They're gonna hold you accountable to everything you said. None of the positive. They're gonna hold you accountable to the worst thing. Hold you accountable to the worst thing you've ever said. Not the draft that you got right. Not this that you. So I put myself out there in 2020, and I was glad to do it. To be in a space with you, everything King, Mobby, Syndicate, all these guys who the fan base looked at the time, because I was watching Mobby just to watch, because I was seeing this dude do full rage quits. Okay, this dude was doing rage quits on Lions games, and he would stream the game on a TV, and he would hold up his camera and stuff. And I was at work, like this was big, man. So it was really nice. It was hella. Someone said they got a photo of it. No, hello from Melbourne, Florida. I was like, they got a photo? No, but yeah, shout out to Bobo, man. But yeah, to answer your question, it was 2020. 2017, like it's 7 years, man. That's deep, man.
Bro, yeah, I think it was probably about 20. Because I'm like, yeah, I remember I went through the Patricia era. So
Yeah.
I remember that like time period probably the best of the whole search after was Patricia gonna get fired? Then he got fired kind of like while the season was going on. And that period I remember better than any other one doing this Lions YouTube stuff. It's just like that entire search process. Because I think at that point, like for me personally, like when I started doing this YouTube stuff, like it wasn't like the first year and stuff, like I feel like I knew what to look for. You know what I mean? Like I didn't understand to like, oh, hey, let's actually maybe do a little background on like who the coaching options are. Like let's like try to understand these guys a little bit. So it was like probably about that time. It was like, okay, they have to try to like learn who actual options are. So you kind of get more invested into it. That's been the progression. You're more invested into it once you want to learn a little bit more about it. And that's where it becomes addicting, really. You can't go away from it. You might take a break, but you're coming back because you got to talk about something.
And contrary to popular belief, content was better when the team was bad, because everybody had an ideal to fix the team. True. Like content now is much of the same. Like we're trying to fix the wide receiver 3, but we're not trying to like. I'm not arguing with you about hiring a guy like Bieniemy or Matt Flores. I'm not arguing like it used to be. It used to be like this. Like this is how you rebuild the team, and now it's more like, okay, we got to keep the ship steady. What do? We like everything. Like everybody's like, hey, look, Jared Goff. Like everybody's like on the same page, just generally.
Hey, problems cause the best content for real. Yeah. You got issues. It's like you can go as far as you want with answers. Now you're kind of limited. It's like, all right, there's only really so many answers here. We kind of just know what the core is. We know who the coach is. It's just about retaining guys at this point. And that's not new news. We just brought somebody back. He's back. We're good. Right. Yeah, but back then, man, it was I can remember making my favorite videos were like making like letters. I remember I had a video was like letter to Sheila Hamp. I loved it for whatever reason. Yeah. But like that's something I would make now. But it was like the creativity was crazy. Man,
I remember me and my mom getting that one of those letters because we were season ticket holders before I went to basic training, and then we were season ticket holders before I left for deployment. And we for whatever reason we didn't renew. My mom didn't want to renew. I was deployed, and she didn't want to go to the games by herself. And I said, "You need to get the season tickets." And she's like, "I don't have no one to go with." And my mom is divorced. My mom and father divorced. So, like content for me was that outlet to get out that rage. Rage, because there was a lot of rage. There's a lot of rage in the space. Like even Mobby said it. Like Mobby said, I can't put out no content because I'm happy. I have a competent team. I'm just enjoying the win. I'm enjoying life. Like it's 100%. Enjoyable now for normal fans. It's enjoyable, but for us, like, oh my God, this is, man, I was gonna do a mad rebuild. First thing you do is trade Stafford. And people reamed me for that. Look what happened. But
so you did dabble in the man and rebuild a little bit. That's what you did do.
I did, and people thought it was crazy. They was like, they're not gonna trade Stafford, and them same people wore the Detroit Rams shirts, and now we can't find them. They all scream Jared Goff. They can't remember what they was doing 2 years ago, but it's all good. It's all good. But me and you, we got to hold ourselves accountable to what we put
You
on
put it
tape.
out there. Yeah,
Yeah,
you put it out there.
exactly.
You gotta live with it, and I'm cool
Yeah.
with that. Like, yo, hey, I'm cool that maybe I cried a little bit when Stafford got traded. It's out there. You can find it. All right, you can find it. You know what I'm saying? But I rock with both of them, so it
Hmm.
works out.
Hmm.
Okay, let's just a quick transition here. I just want to show this on the screen for everybody just joining.
Yeah.
I did put it in the title because I didn't know what to title this, to be honest. So Lions practice squad updates. Hopefully you guys can read this.
Hmm.
This looks weird, but yeah. So here's what I have so far. If anything else updates, I'll throw it on there. But these are the moves. Hopefully I spelled every name right too. Anything stand out to you when you see kind of this initial list of guys back to the practice squad? And I think we'll get into the cuts and things like that. But just guys coming back.
Um, Jake Fromm.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Fromm stood out to me a lot. Peoples Jones being on the practice squad is crazy. That's wild, bro.
I wouldn't have guessed.
They're doing some business right there. They don't want that $2 million to go to waste. They don't want that $2 million to go to waste right there. But Kingsley deserves a shot. Mitchell Agude deserves a shot. I'm very happy with it. Tim Patrick obviously not going to be there for long. But yeah, Summers. Oh yeah, no, Summers is on the Giants.
Yeah, I should have made that more clear. Those two left, and Summers was the one that hurt me. I was like, oh man, he left.
That hurt me, man. 7 tackles in the first freaking quarter, man. Like,
cooking.
dude popped off on tape. Like, I was like, this dude Summers, like the first
Mm-hmm.
game, Kansas City. I was like, man, this dude Summers, bro. I had to put a like shout out. I had to give him we do a Lions Roar thing. I had to give him a shout out because he was a dog, man.
100%. 100%. And you know, and Summers for me is a guy that I can't help but I always ask myself, like, what if he just got here earlier? What if he just came here when training camp was a thing and we could have just seen more? Because I feel like there wasn't much more he could have done, at least in the 2 preseason games, to stand out. That guy was awesome. And it was like he did his work. If he was just here earlier, I know the linebacker position was loaded, but say he comes here when Ben Neiman gets here, does this thing shake a little bit? Because Neiman did well too, but man, Summers was awesome. So that one was hurt. That one did hurt. And then Scott Daly. Hey, I got to point out the Scott Daly one real quick though, because one of the bold things I was like, yo, what if we cut both long snappers? You know, I had to get in the bag a little bit. We had to get a little creative. They didn't do that. They were much safer than that. But I was like, what if they do it? And they did it. And I'm actually really glad they did it because seeing that Scott Daly got picked up by the Bears, we probably wouldn't have a long snapper right now. So good job, Lions. You know, way to make a smart decision. I would have made a terrible decision there cutting both. But yeah, so obviously the Tim Patrick one was I'm really excited about that. Let's just go to there real quick because I posted my stuff on Tim Patrick yesterday. Tim Patrick, your thoughts on it? I'm personally really excited about it. I think this is a good pickup.
Tim Patrick, man. I will say this, and to quote one of my favorite songs, it was a mind-blowing decision. It was weird. You don't know that song? You that young?
I think you that young?
No,
I think you just gave up.
Somebody tell him.
Tell me you just made that song up, man.
Who gonna tell him? Oh man.
I cut you off.
No, you good. You good. I like the size. There's some film on him that I really like. He's got some shake to him, got some wiggle to him. He's not just a big, tall man that just catches fade routes. But you know, the injuries are concerning. I doubt the man that drafted Amon-Ra cannot draft receivers. I was seeing that, or he cannot trade for receivers, or he cannot scout receivers. The man who drafted Amon-Ra knows what he's doing. And I may disagree with the injuries and stuff, but Brad Holmes is also a guy who was a football player in college who came back from a bad like car accident or something and had to walk again and had to build his way back to playing football. And he did in college. And I just feel like he has a certain respect for injured players. He doesn't look at them like throwaways or nothing. He looks at them like, look, I was in your position. I respect you. I'm going to do everything it takes in my power to let you win, and you can win here. He has all the physical traits, win healthy. As you would say, if he can return to form 2 years ago, he might be a steal. And I think that putting him on the practice squad and just seeing where he's at, seeing how he's there, and then activating him later, bro, it's gonna be big, bro.
Hey, shout out to my man Mike. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to read it. Mike
Barker
Hotmail.
Mike Barker Hotmail. Yeah, that's his email. That's
Okay.
my boy, man. You know,
Okay.
shout out to you, 72, man. Shout out to you. You're my dad's age.
Congratulations, man. I'm glad you're here, man. Happy birthday. Um, I kind of forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, no. So I think that's an excellent point, and I don't think I've like you. The Tim Patrick one to me is the one that kind of like brought some of that to my attention because I could, when you make a move like this, we were live actually, when it was like reported that we signed him, and a lot of the comments are about the injury history and the Achilles, the ACL, but
Yeah.
now it's like for me personally, I just like okay now having the injury, like I don't want to count those guys out either. I'm like, wait, hold up, we should give him a chance. The guy did perform in the preseason. I understand he's coming off injury, but he's healthy now. I don't want to just throw him away because of the injury, and I think that's a great point because we've seen that a ton with the Lions is their willingness to give him an opportunity to go earn it. Like, hey, Levi, we're not going to just give up on you, right? We believed in you initially. We're going to keep you around. And credit to Levi, man, he's battled his way back. He's just found a way to stick around.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Mosley, I think is a great example. Like, apparently he stuck around for him. They liked him and they signed him. And it was like, you didn't play, but we're going to bring you back. And unfortunately, got hurt again. But, I mean, that just happens, I guess. But especially in a sport like this, too, it's like, dude, everybody gets hurt. All right. We know, like, if it's repeating the same thing, there are concerns there. But I think that's a great point, the willingness to go get guys that have injuries or believe like, hey, that's not just who you are. You're allowed to be able to try to work back from that. We can't build around like everybody's hurt here, but we can take some swings.
Yeah.
I do like that point.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I think that, credit to Brad Holmes, obviously, because, other GMs are not gonna take swings on guys, but look at what we're feeling about Jameson Williams. This guy literally is, he's like a 180, right? And he's about to probably have a milestone season, 1,100 yards, I believe. 800 to me is like the minimum or the expectation that I set. But if he didn't take that swing, hitting a hooker, like you got to take swings on guys that you really, you got to see who they are in an injury fight when they're coming back from injury, and when they do that and they really want to ball out and they really want to, express themselves on the field, you have to respect it. And, you could just give up. Like CJ Mosley, I seen someone on Twitter say he should just give up and retire. I'm like, bro, like he has the right stuff. Why would he just give up? Like he was going to be the best cornerback before he got hurt in free agency. He was going to make $20 million. And I think he can.
You talking about Emmanuel Mosley?
Yeah, Emmanuel Mosley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We got another Mosley?
No, you said CJ Mosley, so I
started thinking I said CJ. Oh no,
yeah, I was just like, okay, maybe he's talking about the linebacker. Like, I don't know.
It's the PTSD. It's the lights. It's the lights.
It works me. I was like, okay, shoot, I gotta do some research. I didn't even know. I didn't even know about. But no, okay. So that's a great point. I'm glad that you touched on that, and like they do their background on it too. It's like, yeah, they're coming off an injury, but they always check for like, okay, is it clean, that kind of stuff too. But yeah, I think I have a better appreciation for that for taking swings there. And I'm excited for Tim Patrick. And then I think to rest that list, man, for me, the Kingsley Eguakon one, look, I thought the last two games were pretty rough. But I think, we see it with offensive linemen, especially like to the point you made about receiver, he can find receivers. Like you're like, this guy can find receiver. Found St. Brown when he did. Yeah. And, the Benson one was obviously the one that, I didn't mean to do that. Benson one is the one that people will point to. I think when you look at like receiver and you see kind of the patience and kind of the calmness of like, okay, we're gonna figure this out. Like we're not panicking, we're not like racing all over the place. Like we trust the guys we have here. They didn't show it. All right, we got an option. And I think with offensive line, I think you see something similar in terms of like they're very willing to be patient. Like I was always about like, go get an offensive tackle, dude. We need a backup tackle. And this year they technically did, but he's not ready to play this year. But he has been getting better. But it's kind of the same thing for me. It's like, okay, eventually Matt Nelson's gonna get there, and it's the willingness to just be patient with their offensive linemen to be like, it's going to take time. That's one of the positions we just have to be patient on, but it's going to get there. I think receivers, we're seeing kind of that patience as well too, just to trust what they have and that, hey, Ben Johnson's going to make it work regardless. All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Cool, man. I think so I think that's everything there that, we need to. Oh, okay. I got to hit this one too, because Allen Robinson was signed too. No, I don't think Allen Robinson was signed. I think someone just threw that in the chat. I think someone was trying to.
What was the Sudfeld? Someone asked Sudfeld's not on the practice squad.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it like rumors or nothing. But from my understanding, he's not. Hey, at very least, look, they got their safety blanket, right? They got Jake Fromm. So if they want Sudfeld, they got Jake Fromm. They'll have their emergency quarterback.
To be outperformed in 11 days is crazy. You've been around 3 years. That's crazy.
the thing is for me, man, what I want I'm fired up for Fromm being back is I just want him to stick around. I want to see next year, regardless if it's Sudfeld or somebody else because they like him. I want to see him get to compete for number 3 next year.
It
I think
looks
that's
like
going to be on the table if he can stick around.
it looks like people are saying it's real.
So how are we breaking news? Wait, what's real? What is
Sudfeld? I would check the Allen Robinson. Someone's
let
saying
me-
something. If there's a
It's
tracker.
Allen Robinson. You're
What?
gonna see some crazy now. I'm gonna be pretty fired up, like in a good way.
Oh,
In a good
yeah?
way, not a bad way. I'm an Allen Robinson guy. You know, I dabble a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, are they practice squad roster dropped? Oh, the whole thing dropped. Okay, this is we'll figure this out. Oh, actually, my guy just sent it to me. I think my guy just sent it to me. Shout out to Charles. Lions have signed Allen Robinson. All right, see, this is why we're here. Now, I look. I don't know your thoughts, but I'll give mine. I'll express mine because we're live, bro.
Is he healthy?
I'm an Allen Robinson fan.
Is he healthy?
And look, man. To me, we were watching like just guys. Yes, he didn't do a lot production wise in the preseason, but I thought the way that he played against Rakestraw, because we played our starters in that first game against the Giants, and it was like, dude, you can just tell this guy's got. I was a big Robinson guy, and back when like he was a free agent and then he signed and it turned into an absolute like bust. Like it didn't work at all. He's with the Rams. He kind of bounced around a little bit. But like to get him onto the practice squad, I'm like, all right, I'll take that risk.
That's crazy.
I was like, yo, go get Allen Robinson. They didn't do it, and it was like, hey, it's a good decision. Good job you didn't do that. But still a fan of Allen Robinson, man. I just love the way that he plays, man. So very happy if that's legit. And Charles D, usually he's pretty accurate. I mean, your thoughts on Allen Robinson? Do you have any take on that?
Well, you know, like 2-3 years ago, he wanted $20 million. I thought that was wild. You know, he's from the city. He's hey, I want money too. I got to be realistic. You're not even real. You're realistic. But Allen Robinson signing is to me, you got Tim Patrick, Allen Robinson, and Donovan Peoples-Jones as your backups to Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams, and Khalif Raymond. I think it's safe to say wide receiver 4, 5, 6 are set, and nobody can complain. Like even if someone wanted to complain, like, oh yeah, Tim Patrick's on the practice squad. I mean, they can like demote their rookie wide receiver UDFA to the practice squad. They just, he balled out. But if they want size in a game, like they can really be flexible. They're looking for the best 59, or best 69 players. They always said that. So this Allen Robinson move is right on task with that,
Here, watch. Look, man, I completely agree. This is a very exciting. Really quickly, I'm very excited about where this went, and they actually just put the full list out, like the chat was saying. So I'll pull that up on the screen here. This is the Lions practice squad.
That's wild. Zylstra, thank God.
Yes. Okay, Zylstra, we love to see it. Jamarco. Hey, look, Jamarco Jones.
Jamarco Jones. 90 PFF grade. Boy, that boy was working.
He was doing some more. Hey, Kyle Pecco.
Kyle. Oh, yeah. My bad. I was responding to somebody, but yeah. That's whoa. That practice squad can actually play some. They can play on like the Arizona Cardinals for real. That practice squad, they could play. They could be starters on the Arizona Cardinals or like one of them bottom feeder teams. Like no disrespect. Like I'm not disrespecting them. I'm just saying like that practice squad look good. Mitchell Agude, like that's a dog.
Practice squad, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe this. Oh, this is not better. I thought this would be better. This ain't better. But yeah, no. And so just to address on a couple of things because we're just doing this live, but. For me, the reason I gave the clap to Kyle Pecco, and I think most of us did, I expected him to be on the 53. So when he wasn't, I was like, okay, I don't know what happened there. I thought for sure he had to be back because I'm like, I don't know if we're going to lose him, but it felt like maybe there was some kind of verbal thing like, hold on, we're going to get you back to 53. I think Kaminsky's probably going to end on IR here soon, and I thought maybe he might just stick on the practice squad. I don't know. But get him back, it felt like there had to be some sort of verbal agreement. It's like, how did the guy just not play in the preseason? I felt like he looked good in camp, and then he cut him. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah.
So very happy about that. Yeah, this is good. And James Mitchell came back.
And James Mitchell, Isaac Akul, Chris Smith. He was doing a lot of work, bro.
Chris Smith was working. He was.
This is nice. Jameer Jefferson, I think he was better. I like seeing Jameer more than I like seeing Bam Knight. Bam Knight was smooth, but Jameer, I don't know what it is, but he got a little more wiggle to him. There's a little more burst, a little more juice in the tank.
This looked like I agree. I thought this was the best version of Jefferson. Jefferson was like The first draft, that was the first guy shirt I was like, I bought Jamar Jefferson. I was like, Oregon State, man, I love this dude. And I was always like pulling for him to make the team and that kind of thing. But I really do think that this year it just looked like the best version of Jefferson, man. It's like he feels like a veteran running back, but to your point, it also felt like it was very decisive in everything that he did. He was making guys miss behind the line of scrimmage, and you're like, this looks like the guy right here, right? He's like, there's limitations, but he looks like if I had to ask him to step into a game, he would be able to do that. And I would have full confidence.
And good old Faithful's back on the team too. Tom Kennedy. Shout out to Tom Kennedy.
Bro,
how you still keep a job, bro? The legend of Tom Kennedy continues. Like this dude, he stay with a job, bro. He stay with a job. I like him, man. Good old Faithful, man. That team, that's that practice squad, bro. They could give some people some fits, man.
That's nasty, man. Dude, this Allen Robinson one has me fired up. I can't even know. I'm so excited for this. We might have to pull up some Allen Robinson stuff because I know I got clips saved. You talking about the hard drive? I got clips.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I was fired up, and then Pat O'Connor too. Like, he was the guy that I was like, okay, week 1, notice him a little bit. Who is this guy? And then by the time he got to week 3, he was like, oh, Pat O'Connor is making some play, especially against the run, and he was inside outside. It's like, okay, this guy's playing multiple spots. He didn't feel like he could have been a 53 guy, or like he definitely doesn't feel like he has maybe that starter upside, or like he's not that much of an impact pass rusher. But in terms of like, I can put him in different spots. He's actually playing the run pretty well, and he's playing with a freaky high motor. It's like this would be a great person to get back on the practice squad. Like he's an ideal practice squad player. So to get him back too, I'm actually a little surprised they got him back. To be honest, I don't know if he's like on the older side. I know he's like a former draft pick, but yeah, this looks good.
Do you allow cursing on your channel?
Look, I don't have like a sign that says you can't. I don't do it, but you know what I'm saying. I just don't do it.
That's a dog A. I'm gonna just say that. That's a dog A. Okay, roster right there. That's matter of fact, that's the Lions of 2020. that's the Lions of 2020. They just reserves, man. They just reserves. Like those would be starters on that 2019, 2020, 21 team, especially. They would be starters, bro. That's a good. That's a good A. That's a good A practice squad.
Yeah, this is great. This is fantastic. And someone asked if we're still. So we are at 53, and this was the one. We could show some clips just because I have him up, so why not? But Trevor, whose last name I don't think I can pronounce, Nowaski. He was with us last season out of Saginaw Valley State. And look, they seem to love the guy. And I'll show some clips. He's right here at the bottom. But they seem to love the guy when they had him last season, and to keep really an open roster spot so that they could pick him up off the waiver wire. They were at the bottom, so I'm assuming nobody else even threw a claim in for the player. But they go out there and they bring him in, claim the player to put him on the 53. I don't know that he'll last there. I don't know if that'll last. He's probably going to be inactive for a few games. Special teams value, though. Nowaski. Special teams value seems to be for me where it's probably going to be at, especially early for him, just because you watch him. I mean, the guy's the body control, the tackling in space. I mean, this is a great example of it. Like to me, this is a special teams play in the preseason. Like this is where I would rock with. It's not, you can't make him miss in space, and he's also really smart player that's played different spots too. But to see that be the 53, I was like, okay, that's kind of surprising. Why not just, to me, keep a guy like Pecco? Like, why would you even risk that? But now when you see the full picture, like, well, they got him all back. Like, good job, Lions. Brad Holmes did his thing. See, this is why, like, part of me, I'm like, all right, I shouldn't question it. It looks weird. It's like, why do we keep 52? But I'm like, calm down. There's going to be something made sense of this. Clearly, they were like, bro, we're getting Trevor in here, so we have to have that spot open. He's coming back. Because once we claim him, I think he has to go to the 53. I don't think you can claim him to the practice squad. But then they made the practice squad work out, man. So anything else that stands out to you, with this practice squad list? I could throw it back on the screen. Or anything else you want to touch on there before we, keep it moving?
Oh, I was reading Broski Bear's comment. It was so crazy. He was like, your one leg wide receiver comment on Dan's show this morning cracked me up because that's what I was calling before you joined. I'm like, man, that's the first thing that came to mind. It's something to do with one leg. But bro, this practice squad, this is a dog practice. Man, this practice squad better than the Packers starting 11. Okay, shout out to the Pack.
I need to know if you're playing or if you have some seriousness in there, because I do need to know. This is a quick side note, but we got to go here real quick because I don't know your take on this. At the NFC North, all right, let's just take the Lions out. 2, 3, 4. We can just count this as one. It's fine. 2, 3, 4. Where do you got them finishing?
The Packers.
The let's say just the other three, like what order as of now do you think they'll fall in? Okay. I want to know where you're at with this.
I really want to go, and this is going to be counterintuitive. I think the Vikings 2, I think the Packers 3, and I think Chicago 4. But this division reminds me of the AFC North back in the past, like 2012. I know that's like before your time, but this is this this division, bro. This division is like the worst team would be 9-8, maybe 8-9, the worst team. So for me, I'm just like, well, I know the Vikings had a quarterback issue. They, had an injury with JJ McCarthy. And I'm not a devout Michigan fan. Don't care too much for college sports like that. Like, to be painting my face and all that stuff. But I will say, like, that's an improvement because he needs to just learn, because he was a handoff specialist at Michigan. He was throwing some great dots and passes that first preseason game. But just the way they're reviving Sam Darnold's career, bro. Like all those West Coast elements, he's got the receivers to do it. I think they have a better offense than what people are giving them credit for. Now, I think everybody wants to go to the Packers, but the Packers, to me, like, they got a great defense. They brought in 2 solid running backs. I'm still questioning the offensive line. I still question Jordan Love. And I only question Jordan Love because of the sample size of the 8 games. Like, right. If you gave me 8 games, like I would do it to Jared. If Jared gave me 8 games of consistent play and 8 before that was nothing, I'd be like, does this guy really have it? And so I'm questioning Jordan Love. And then I'm also questioning the contract. Like, how does that team move forward? Like, retaining players, to me, like, is cool, but those players don't get better. Those players just be the same player at market value. So is Jordan Love going to be a Jared Goff? He has to prove he is, even though he was better in yards and TDs, but he has to prove like that money was worth it. And I think that's a lot of added pressure. But Chicago, I think they playing for 8 games. They're just trying to get a fan base something. They like us in 2021. Like we got to get a fan base a win. We got to win. So they just want to win like 8 or 9 games and then talk playoffs. Okay. Got a very good roster, but I really give my hat to the Vikings because bro.
Oh, they know what they're doing on offense.
They know what they're doing on offense. I don't think offense is the question over there. Yeah. But what's your take?
Well, based on your comment at Packers, I was like, I think he's with me. I don't think he's as high on the Packers as everybody else. All right, I think we're on board here. And then you said 2, and I was like, okay, we're not on the same page. That's cool, though. We're just
what?
I got Chicago, too. I think Chicago's a playoff team this year.
Oh, wow.
I thought mine was bold. You said Vikings at 2. I was like, okay, this isn't even going to sound crazy when I say what I say, because I had the Packers at I won't say the official prediction because I have to say that for later. But I have them not making the playoffs. I don't have the Packers playoffs. I got them at 3, and then I had the Vikings at 4. But I'm not mad at those 2, and I think it's fair to flip those. I really do, because look, I mean, we just saw it firsthand without even like really going that deep into it. If you just look at what they did against us, now our defense hopefully is much better now, but they were competitive with Nick Mullins at quarterback. They could throw anybody at quarterback and they would put up points. So I'm with you on, first off, their weapons are crazy as long as Addison's out there, and Kevin O'Connell is going to find a way to put up points. And you can make the case Sam Darnold's better than whoever they had playing at quarterback once they lost Kirk Cousins. So I'm not mad at that take at all. I'm not mad.
I'm not sleeping on the Bears. I want to be very clear. Like this division.
It's tough.
This division is like a fight. This is not no easy stuff. Like this is not no game. Like I'm not sleeping on the Bears. I'm not sleeping on nobody. Like all these teams. I mean, all these teams can get a Lions. We can split with all these teams. That's how dangerous they are.
I'm in agreement with you. It's crazy. It's like a side comment here. Like someone brought it up how, well, the division is going to be better. We're going to be worse. And it was like, man, we split against the Packers and the Bears last year, and we won 12 regular season games. The division wasn't like we were like 6-0, and it was like all of our wins are coming from the division, man. We were losing in there. It's like we did everything outside of the division is loaded, man. And the Vikings gave us a run for it both times.
400 yards. CJ Mullins. 400 yards with Mullins. I was like, whoa.
Cooking. They were cooking.
Whoa.
These were the couple clips that I just had on deck. It's kind of blurry, but I just thought I'd show them because it happened and we're live. Allen Robinson, top of your screen. Look, he's not going to catch the ball, and I don't think but one of these clips he will. But when I'm just watching him, Avery, this is what stands out to me, right? It's like I look for the release package. I look for the
Woo!
consistency and the footwork there. And he is against Rakestraw, right? And this was like the game for the Lions DBs. And you're like, okay, this guy's got it, right? Like this guy's got the shake still off the line. You see him again here, you get vertical
Yeah,
on him. He did this like 3 times. He stacked our corners like that. Boom. And it's like Allen Robinson's not fast. You know Robinson, he's not like a 4.3 guy. He's like a 4.6 guy, and he's not young. But his footwork off the line, man, it's so quick and efficient. And it's like this guy can separate. I always like guys that can separate against man. Then he's smart, right? You get the cornerback blitz, which I don't even know that was on purpose, but sitting down on the sideline right here, just kind of making himself a target. That's what he was, right? He played in the slot as a big slot. So for me, when I see that, I'm like, oh, okay. See, I'm bad on the buttons here, man. This is a problem. But I just thought I'd show that, just to give a little more buzz back to that. We can keep it moving.
Yeah, no more excuse for Aaron Glenn. Are you an Aaron Glenn? Like me personally, I'm like
shaky on it.
No, I hold the guy accountable. I like the guy. I like my boy Brandon. My boy Brandon, that's my best friend for 15 years. But if he do something stupid, I'm gonna hold him accountable. It ain't gonna be no question.
You did. That was a complete stray, man. That was unnecessary to Brandon. Brandon, if you're listening, man, we apologize. I don't know who Brandon is, but
Brandon, I made it. I'm on Dose of Dion show. We made it.
Hey, Brandon is watching that. We see you, Brandon. Where you at? Get in the chat. Dude, no. So for me with Aaron Glenn, I'm with you. Like, I think I've grown to like Aaron Glenn a lot, and mainly I think just seeing it from I always see Aaron Glenn as a guy that's like full 100% faith in his players. Right? He's not gonna throw him under the bus. He's gonna believe in his guys. 2 points where I'm like, okay, probably not a good situation to put that guy in. That's just not a good. Like I can remember. I think it was. Top of my mind, I think it was like DJ Moore? It may have been the Saints. Like when you would like leave Jerry one-on-one, right? And it's like, oh, okay, 3rd and long, let's go cover 1. And I was like, why would you leave him one-on-one? It's like I understand you believe in your guy, but like that's not the matchup, right?
Right.
It's like at some point we gotta be like, let's protect our guy a little bit. And that's where I always got with Glenn, is like I feel like at times he could do too much and just like I'm trusting my guys to go make the play. But I did grow to love Glenn because I did feel like while he has his staples, he had some willingness to be like, all right, I'm gonna change it up this game. Let's change it up for this opponent. You know what he wants to do, but he was willing to, he wasn't just like, I'm gonna run the same coverage every single game. But he has his staples, and we've seen that in the preseason. So I've grown to love Aaron Glenn, I think. But yeah, I'm not like Aaron Glenn's that dude. Like we got to see it. We got the players. Let's go. Like offense did their thing. Let's start to see it roll now.
Yeah,
I think it will. But yeah, I think I'm with you there.
Yeah,
Call
for
the
sure.
things out that aren't there.
Yeah,
I'm trying to look through these topics. What was like? Because I'm looking through. What was one of these topics that you wanted to hit on for sure? I don't want to like miss that. If there was one. Hit on. Like, because
I was spitballing, but I can always extend my time, bro. Like,
okay,
there's no problem there. Like, let me see.
Let's do this. Because I'm looking at that list too, and I'll just throw one of yours at you. So, biggest surprise. You put biggest surprise. What was like the thing for preseason, maybe in a good way or a bad way, that like surprised you? Maybe an individual player, just like a takeaway that you didn't expect, good or bad.
Keeping Jake Bates. I didn't. Yeah. So yeah, I thought Brad Holmes got experimental, and Brad commonly does things that we don't want Brad to do.
Yeah.
It's he trades up for wide receivers that we didn't necessarily want.
He doesn't go by the book. He does his own thing. If you believe in it.
I was scared for my boy Jake Bates because I like Bates a lot, and I was like, please be my kicker, please, just this one time, like, and keeping Houston. I was a big proponent of Houston. I was scouting like HBCU guys when I was started out, and I was looking at HBCU guys all the time. And they had talent, and there was a lot of graduate students from the SEC transferring over to HBCUs for Coach Prime and other coaches who went there and usurped that division, if you will. But keeping my two favorite players, thank you, just thank you, okay. Thank you. I know I got the Gibbs on today. That's just representing. But 41 is upstairs. Okay, 41. That's my dude. Gotcha. And obviously I got to get me a 43 now. I got to give me a 43 for my favorite kicker in the league.
Yeah, I thought by the way that you said that, you were like, I'm surprised he made the team. I was like, whoa, are you really? Like, I was like, I thought he did his thing. But you know what? You'd have been fantastic yesterday to have on live stream, man, because when the initial 53 went through, I was with you. I was like, bro, to me after game 3, it was like, okay, James Houston, you keep him. Like, I understand there was like a idea of a battle here, and then James Houston did what he did. It's like, nope, he's the guy that I want to play on Sundays. Everybody else is fun, but this guy can impact the game on Sundays. So you'd have been fantastic yesterday because the chat was like, yo, Betts was better and Ukwu. And I'm like, hey, I like him. But Houston's the guy I want on game day on Sundays against a starting offensive tackle if I got to put one of those guys out there. So we're definitely we're on the same page there. I like those answers.
Yeah, for sure, man. But yeah, I can get to anything you want to ask, bro. Okay. I'm here all day. I see my camera trying to glitch out. The devil is alive. Okay, the devil is alive today.
Mm-hmm. Hey, the picture looked good though. We can see the full picture now.
So oh yeah, look, that's free marketing.
You did that on purpose. I got it. It's all good. Well, just to flip on that real quick, man, because for me, it was Lawrence Strickland. Like I was so fired up to see. I didn't think Lawrence Strickland would make it. To be like, I kept predicting him there, but it was almost like I was like trying to make it happen. I was like, oh, it's got to happen. But at the same time, there's just a part of me is like, they're probably gonna go CJ Moore just because they know. But then they were just like bold and like, hey, CJ Moore's back on the practice squad, fantastic. But the fact that they were like, we're willing to go with UDFAs, it's crazy. It's a little bit surprising to me that 3 UDFAs actually made this team. I mean, one of them's a long snapper, but like, it's pretty impressive, man, because it's like we don't have the same draft capital that we had like year 1 when we got here, and those guys, you know, that can be incredibly valuable down the road to like, hey, we hit on a couple UDFAs, especially if it's not one of these situations where like Isaiah Williams where you have to cut him and then you bring him back. It's like, well, now I got to give him a new contract. If he could ride on that 3-year deal, we could have real value there in a couple years with Isaiah Williams. He could be a big part of this team. So it's awesome to see that because we know that's going to be necessary to kind of keep this thing rolling. It's like you got to hit on these sleepers, and 3 of them in 300 free agents is awesome. It's an awesome story. Okay, I want to flip to this thing because I haven't really talked about this a lot, and you know, you brought up the Rams game specifically. So, first game of the season, there's been some news coming out of there, right? The offensive tackle is out for that first game of Lark Jackson, but they'll have Havenstein and they'll have Noteboom, I believe, playing tackle.
Yeah,
and then linebacker wise, they traded away Ernest Jones. So they've had some changes happening. But those don't like really move the needle for me. I'm gonna be honest. Like it doesn't really move the needle in terms of like how I feel about that one. So before like I get like maybe if you want to go full prediction in that game, like score early on, like obviously this will change, but like early score, what is your kind of like outlook on the Rams for this upcoming season?
Man, my outlook on the Rams, man, I'm gonna tell you this, man. Mm-hmm. We gotta beat this team. Okay, we gotta start 6-1. We gotta start fast. Because if we start fast, then at the end of the season, we control our destiny. We control what we control, and that's the key. I don't want no room for error. I know there's going to be error, especially Thanksgiving. I know there's going to be errors, okay? But at the same time, like, I just want to start fast. Like, I remember Aaron Glenn was speaking one time, and he just said, what did he say? Just start fast. All right. That was a Jameson Winston quote. I just threw it in. But we gotta just start fast, man. Just start fast. Tampa Bay. If I gave a prediction, I would say 24-23, just like last time. But Stafford's trying to come back, and Stafford trying to feel mean and stuff. I wasn't rooting for anybody. Stafford saying stuff. He liked to talk with them veneers on. I don't know why he liked to talk. He liked to, I seen the Rams little podcast. He likes to talk. He likes to say his little comments. And you know what? I just want him to get hit. I want to break the veneers. I just don't want to hear the legend of Matthew Stafford when we leave on that day. On September 9th, I think it is. Like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear none of that. Us. Yeah, it's about us. Yeah. Knock this dude out.
And hey, I'm with you, man. As a big Stafford guy, I'm with you. And I wanted to really start there because for me, like, I think it's just interesting looking at the top of the NFC because that's a conversation. You know, we're not talking about make the play. We're talking about the top of the NFC, in my opinion. So, like, teams like the 49ers, who I think could take a real step back, especially going forward. Maybe not like a massive step back this year, but I just think in general, I feel like they had their opportunity. Maybe there's some bias here. I feel like they had their opportunity, and I think they blew it. I think it was right there in front of them. It was like, dude, you're playing the Chiefs. They're not scoring points. This is your chance to go get them, and they didn't. So, for me, like, the top of the NFC right now, like who's kind of like leading the way, maybe outside of the Lions? That's like these are the teams we're gonna have to deal with. Is that Philly? Is Dallas still up there for you? Like, what does that look like?
I think that's San Fran and that's the Eagles. I think the Eagles. I don't trust Sirianni as a coach.
Yeah,
but the players that's on that team, like they got a lot of dogs on that team, and I don't think those dogs are going to let that lie that they had a down year towards the end of their season. Now the 49ers, that's the big bad. We got to annihilate them. I want them out of the picture. I want this to go through Detroit. And I think everything's aligned for us, especially with the 3 games outside. Everything's aligned for us to win the Super Bowl this year. And I keep my Super Bowl hopes like dim. I I keep them dim. But okay. But at the end of the day, this is a Super Bowl team. This is a Super Bowl caliber team on paper. They can go 17-0. I seen that from Lion King. They can go 17-0. But those are the 2 teams. And Dallas, not in the playoffs, not in a real game. Just just in the season. They got some funky stuff going on down there. They paying refs. They doing all types of stuff. They're doing wild stuff, wild boy stuff. In Dallas.
You can't even really predict the game against Dallas. It's just like, all right, we're playing Dallas. We'll just see what happens. I'm not going to give you a score for this one because we could be on point, and then all of a sudden, there's something wild happens, some freaky stuff happens at the end of the game. It's like, all right, that wasn't supposed to happen, but it did.
Picked up flags and stuff,
stuff like that. I don't know. Yeah, maybe a guy doesn't report. I don't know. There's just things that could happen. I've never seen it before, but it could.
Yeah.
So I think I'm with you there. Like I said, I think Sanford might start taking a step back, but I think Philly's right up there for me. I think Philly's like right at the top. And I think the cool thing though is, I don't want to say the top, they're not above us, but I think the cool thing though is it feels like really the best teams going forward, I think, are in the division. Like I think we're gonna battle it out. So it's like, if you win your division, I think you set yourself up for, you're battle tested, man. I think you've seen the best. You can make that case going forward. You're gonna be like, you've seen the best in division. If you handle your division, you're the best team going into the playoffs. Like that's how now that may not get you the 1 seed because that could be like Atlanta or something because they don't play anybody and they could roll through it. Yeah. But I think you're set up to do it because you're prepared for it. So flip that then. You said you're not going to go too deep into the Super Bowl stuff, but you said 6-1. We need to start 6-1. What's your floor and ceiling, would you say, for the season record-wise?
Floor and ceiling, first and foremost, we talked about it on my channel. The floor is keep that winning culture. Win the division and stuff like that. But in record-wise, I don't really do the record predictions, but for you, I'll do it. 12-5. This is a 12-5 roster at the minimum. At the minimum. And we just got to keep it going. Like keep it going. Like we got the coach, we got the offensive coordinator, you got the defense, come on, man. We got the roster. Like I don't want to see, man. I don't want to see no goofy stuff, man.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with it. 12-5. 12-5 again will make me feel great. And like I'm cool with like whatever it is. Like I just want to get back in the playoffs. I love the division standard, but like it's like just get back in the playoffs because I just miss it, man. Like when it came back, it felt unreal a little bit. Like it was in 2016. I can remember like, oh man, this playoffs it's gonna happen, and it's just like after that, it's like, bro, we're going the complete wrong direction. So you're like, I just want that to happen again. And after tasting it last year, it's like, yo, just get in. I don't even care how we get in. Just get in the playoffs, man. That atmosphere is different. It's just
Facts.
like when they show it on the screen and they show that playoff picture and your team's in there, it's like, this is crazy. There's nothing that would beat that graphic being on the screen. It's so much better than being in the hunt at the bottom right at 4-7. And you're like, oh man, if we run the table, it's like, bro, I don't want to do that anymore. Let's just be in the conversation. I don't want, hey, if we go 5-0, we got like a 3% chance. Like, I don't want to do that. So that's all I'm asking for really, is just to get in the playoffs somehow, some way, and then we'll go from there.
That's it.
You put, and I'm gonna let you kind of lead this one because you said, who are you rooting for? Are you still rooting for? What did you mean by that?
Oh, just to make the team, man. Like I was rooting for like, I mean, obviously not just to Houston, my God. I was rooting for James Houston, and I was rooting for Jake Bates. I don't want nothing to come in between Jake Bates, but I was also, there was a time like Sudfeld could have a 100 passer rating and 300 yards. I want him off the team. Like there's just certain guys I wasn't rooting for. And who was you rooting for?
Nate Sudfeld. Yeah, Nate Sudfeld would have been the time.
Okay, so yeah. So who was you rooting for positively?
Well,
you was rooting for Nate Sudfeld?
No, he wouldn't be on the top of the list. Definitely would have been on the top of the list. I feel like I'm giving you a terrible answer by just saying like I'm rooting for everybody because I mean I am like, and I think you'll understand this, but being into YouTube, like when you do like you create content, especially live stuff, you start to like for me personally, when I see like an overly one side that gets heavy, I can't help but like kind of be like, all right, I want to see the flip side. Like, go prove everybody wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I'm rooting for you to
Mm.
prove everybody wrong. So from that aspect, I wanted to see Sudfeld prove everybody wrong. That didn't mean like it was after week 2. I was like, Hendon Hooker's the backup. So for me, what was cool was I was really the big surprise or the big takeaway for me was to see that they were seemingly able to kind of flip the mind and like Hendon Hooker can be the backup. And I was really happy about that, man, because I didn't know that was going to be possible. Like, I know they
Right.
like Sudfeld, and I liked how he was practicing. Obviously, the preseason games weren't as good, but it was the fact that he was able to basically play an entire third preseason game and seemingly be like, yo, I am the backup quarterback. And the Lions were able to buy into that. That was the coolest takeaway for me because
Mm-hmm.
all of the hype, there was hype around Hendon Hooker, man. And it was the fact that he went round 3 when he did. And it was like, how is this guy getting here? I know for me personally, I mean, I remember loving Hendon Hooker coming out, and then you kind of forget about it a little bit. And you're just seeing him
Yeah.
practice, like whenever you ever see him, and it was different. It made the preseason experience so much different. And I think you can attest to this too. Like, usually in the preseason you're down, it's like, okay, now it almost like it slows down as the game goes on because you start to get
Right.
more and more into the depth. Like, okay, it's cool to see the depth, but I don't think that guy even has a chance to make the team. But then you
Right.
would go to Hooker as third string, you're like, we might go win this football game. Like, it was a
Right.
spark that he brought, and that was the coolest thing because I haven't felt it as line. There was just like it was one thing to like be out there, distribute the football, and like let's give guys opportunities. Hooker was out there, it's like, let's go win this football game. I understand it's preseason, but he can go take this game over. That was the
Mm-hmm.
coolest thing. I've never experienced that, I don't think, in the preseason as a Lions fan ever, outside of the starters playing.
Yeah. It's so nice to have competency in the front office. It's nice
Huge.
because now man, when they played the Steelers and I seen the Steelers starters was there and we was actually stopping them, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, I told my fan base a long time ago, like the Giants ain't they're not even on our caliber level. Okay.
Right.
Relax about these Giants practices. But when I seen that, the depth, like all the whole preseason, like these guys are fighting and these guys are like winning, trying to win. Like these guys are not laying down. I know it was definitely, 3-14 or 3-20, 21 the first game. But after that, these guys was like really out here playing football, like trying to win. Like, I'm like, man, this roster's so deep. It's so deep, bro. Strickland, like Brandon Joseph, bro. Like these dudes is out here. They can get a job. Like they can really start.
It's such a cool thing where as a fan, it's like Brad Holmes is gonna bring us along, man, because it's like as a fan, there's certain positions where maybe like all offseason the questions are about that spot. Like, what are they gonna do there? It's like they haven't done enough. And safety was one of those. It felt like it was because it was like, well, they got to go sign a veteran, right? Tracy's gone. Tracy just signed with San Fran. Sounds like he's going to play week 1. But the safety position was like, no, we're not going to do anything. It's like Brandon Joseph's going to be good. And it was cool because it's kind of like how I was saying with like offensive line early. I thought Connor Galvin could be in that category. It's unfortunate that he got hurt. But it was like after a good last preseason where it was like he's just getting his feet wet, but then he sticks around. And now it's like this year is like, we believe in you, man. It's your opportunity. Go take it. It's almost like Jamison Williams, kind of on a smaller level, I feel like, right? Like they left the door open for J-Mo to go be that guy. And they believe in him, and they're going to let it happen and just see what happens. They weren't going to put someone in his spot and be like, well, we got to be safe here. Let's not do it yet. It's like, dude, we invested in you, man. Either you're going to do it or you're not. We're going to find out, though.
They did that.
It feels like that.
They did that with Anzalone. They did that with they did that with guys. They did that, in the defensive tackle position. Hey, look,
right.
We're gonna give you opportunity here, but next year, man, we might draft a guy. Okay. And all them guys like rise to the occasion. I like how they do that.
Absolutely. And to me, you brought up the Giants game. It was the Chiefs game for me. You brought the Steelers game. It was the Chiefs game for me. It was like you knew all the buzz was going to be about the behind the back pass, but I can't help but just like continue to go back to the point. It's like, bro, their starters play 2 drive and they couldn't score a touchdown. Like I just gotta, there's to me, and it's not like we were like, hey, we're out there with Terry on, and we're like, bro, we were with our second team. I understand it's like a small sample, but they couldn't score a touchdown.
Yeah.
And I mean, really, the one was just set up by one deep pass on a corner route. Outside of that, it was like, they didn't really do much. They kind of got halted. And it was so cool to see how fast they were playing. It's like this second unit could start, and everything that you believe in, like, well, Vildor has experience, right? I like Khalil Dorsey, and it's just like those guys went out there and just backed it all up. They're like, yeah, we're serviceable, man, and that's against your ones. Like, this isn't just anyone's. It's the Chiefs in Arrowhead. I understand it's preseason, but it was just awesome. That was the coolest thing for me, is just to see that. You know what talks about behind the back, but I talked about how the fact that they couldn't get in the end zone. And I love that we won it.
Yeah, because like right after that behind the back play, you have a run to the outside and
Fumble.
it's a strip fumble.
Yep.
Then you have an incomplete pass and like a Meek has good coverage, and then you have like another incomplete pass and it's a 3 and out. So everybody's talking about the behind the back pass on Twitter. It's trending for no reason because they didn't score. Like I think you and me think similar in that way. Like, bro, like we're not caught up in the glitz and glam. We're trying to win games. This is a whole like he's going against our second team. That's how much we think of the Chiefs. Like we're not acquiescing to you. We're not gonna put our guys in jeopardy. We trying to get what you got.
In like to me, it's a crazy progression to think that this year felt completely. It's all about just evaluating those guys because, I mean, it was like not everybody was immediately from week one. Obviously, we didn't play our starters basically for the most part, outside of Terrion a little bit. But I mean, outside of that, like even beyond rookies, it was like, okay, Ben Neiman, we've seen 2 games, we're good. You don't need to play you. I throw Kyle Pecco into that category, even though he got cut because now he's back. It was like, yeah, we don't need to play you. It was just cool to see that. It's like we don't need to play our veterans, right? The veterans don't need to go prove something. We know what we have. We don't need to go look good in the preseason. We got what we got. It's all about the backups. And again, to see them, like you said, like they're hanging with these guys. Other years you get a mix. This year was completely about competition battles. It felt like everywhere. It was like as soon as we feel good about a guy, we're not playing him anymore. It's about the next guy.
That's it.
To see that.
Yeah, crazy. Wild. Those are Dion spitting facts. I like this. This is the Dion I like. This ain't dose of Dion. I need a dose of what you got. This is the 2.0 Dion. This is
hey,
we
drank a lot of this. Got to go to the bathroom soon, but that's all good. Hey, is there anything else you want to hit on, man? I feel like I want to show the practice squad one more time. You know what I mean? I want to show that. Make sure everybody that's just joining sees it. Yes, Allen Robinson is a Lion, and Avery is also fired. You can't see him, but you can hear it in his voice. He's fired up. Okay,
I'm fired up, man.
He's fired up. So, is there anything else that you want to hit on here before we keep it moving? Shout out to Kenny Powers real quick. Got to give a shout out here. I didn't know Kenny Powers was going to be here. Are there any free agents available that line? Okay, this is actually a good question for you.
Yeah.
If anybody's on your mind that would like the Lions to go out and get. For me, it's Yannick Ngakoue.
Oh wow,
what do you got, Avery? Appreciate
He's still
you,
out
Kenny.
there. He's still out there. That's crazy.
I don't even.
First
know.
and foremost,
feels like he's a free agent.
Look, man, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm set, bro. I'm set. I went shopping. I got Allen Robinson and I got Tim Patrick on my practice squad. I got receivers that got 800 yards in a couple years. And I got one receiver that was about to get 20 million. Okay. I got one receiver on my practice squad who got 20 million a couple years ago, I think from Jacksonville. So I'm happy. I'm like, bro, this dude's been to the promised land and back. Okay. So now and I think Donovan Peoples-Jones is not on that official list. I did see that. It was a comment that was made.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. He's not.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure that out right there. Because Donovan People just being on the practice squad, like, bro, like how does that work for your check? Like, I think about his game because he signed for an extension for like a $2 million for the year, like, and now he ain't.
He's got. I think he's supposed to be on here because I'm looking at this. There's only 15 listed. So I wonder if it's just a typo. They forgot to put him because Donovan Peoples-Jones, I think, happened before everybody else. So maybe he just forgot to put it on here. Hey, you don't usually see that on Lions website, but as a guess, you may have forgot to put it on there.
Yeah, for
5,
sure,
6,
for sure,
7,
man.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13.
Y'all want to trade? Yeah. Josh Prince just said, "Who do we trade for?" I'm like, bro, let them play first. Let the weaknesses show themselves. Like, come on, man.
Hey, Avery, there can never be enough trade videos, man. You can never.
Oh yeah. Syndicate, no. He gonna be my next guest. He know. He traded for the whole NFL last year. He traded for the whole NFL. That's my dog. But he traded for the whole NFL. And Mike, hey, look.
Shot.
Mike, I love you. He wanted everybody. Mike too. Okay. Micro Mike. I'm looking at you. You wanted everybody. You wanted I'm like, bro,
and that's the thing too. It's catchy, dog. You see it, and you're like, all right, I gotta click on the video. It's like, okay, we're not gonna trade for it, but I gotta click on the video. What's he talking about?
Those are the godfathers of the space. But like, y'all wanted everybody, everybody. Lamar Jackson, this guy, like, whoa. And then when they get somebody, They be mad. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. It's just more content.
Said they be- yeah.
They be mad when they get somebody. This was not the guy. It was a position, but not the guy. I'm like, whoa, bro, chill, bro.
Hey,
Chill.
Peoples Jones, dog. We made a move. Peoples Jones made the trade. Made it happen. Now look at him on the practice squad. Maybe
They'd be like, who is this? They'd be like, who is this? I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that's great. No, that's great, man.
Touch some grass, bro. Touch some grass.
Hey, hey, look, bro. I'm with you though, because like to any and free agents available. To be honest, Kenny, I don't really know that many free agents that are of it. Because to me, the only guys that I was listing was receivers, and now let's see what we've done. And it's not even on the table. I would have told you. I was always a Robert Woods guy, so I'd have said Woods. I would have said Robinson. He was on the list, so we got him. And at this point, I'm okay. Let me ask you this one. I want to do this one before we get out of here. I just want to hear where you're at on this because I know where I'm at and know where a lot of the chat is. People always come to me with defensive end, and they're always like, "Man, we need to go sign another defensive end." I won't tell you my take. What would you say to that?
Oh, I'm good. I'm straight. See, I believe in the power of James Houston. See, as a person who checks this out. Oh my God! See, everybody forget.
We just check this out. I forgot.
I got some real content for you, bro. I got some real content. Check this out.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, I think it was Hyder, Corey Hyder, Kerry Hyder. Yeah, Kerry Hyder. So I think they were, historically the Lions. Well, Dan Campbell and them, those Lions, they like these long defensive ends, right? They like these guys with size who can set the edge, 6'5", have a lot of power, right? That's why they like Kaminsky. They like the interchangeable ability to go in a NASCAR package or a quasi defensive tackle, 3-tech spot, and then you can be defensive end the next play. They love that multiple front stuff. My thing is this, right? When I scouted James Houston back in the day, man, and I predicted him to come to the Lions, one of my best videos. Not that I'm bragging, but anyway, I was like, look,
throw it in there.
This guy, if you care about sacks, this is the guy you need to get. If you care about what a person's supposed to look like, this ain't the guy. So what do you care about? What are you supposed to look like? What he's supposed to feel like? Or do you care about those sacks? Because you had 41 sacks last year. And you were like, what, 23rd, 31st in the league? So we need the sacks. And in a wide 9 set, he would be perfect. He's a Cliff Averill. And I'm so happy that he has the opportunity to be on his team and be in those packages. Him and Okwu as well. Like those 6'1" defensive ends going up against 6'7", 6'4", 6'5" left tackles, right tackles. They already have the base. They're already more nimble. They already at an advantage. So I'm excited that we have the best edge rusher on the Lions. We have the best. I'm excited, but it has to be proof in the pudding. He has to go do it. You understand what I'm saying? He has to go do it. Davenport is here for a year on some type of rental deal. He's trying to get a check. We know what it is. He's trying to get a check. He's a high-end buy, okay? I don't know if you ever had, a girl in the house. She might be a high-end buy, okay? But James Houston got to prove, okay, that he has to marry, okay? He has to get married. He has to play for that contract. At defensive end, he has to get 8 sacks, 9 sacks, and prove that he belongs in this league. And I think if they put in the wide 9 in some of those sets, a NASCAR package in some of those sets, 2nd and 9, 3rd and long, we're ready to go. Because on any other team, bro, James Houston going to be James Houston. They're not going to bring in a Davenport. I'm not even concerned about the defensive end. When you got Aiden Hutchinson on the right side, left side, getting 100 pressures, and then you got a talented technician with James Houston, I don't need to bring in a Davenport. But again, James Houston got to prove it. So I'm set with the defensive end. I know that's not the sexiest thing. I know I rambled on just to say I'm set. But
I like it.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh yeah. Kirby Joseph, bro. I predicted them all. I'm like Pokemon. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Pokemon like that. I'm gonna miss all those. You know what I mean? I'm gonna miss all the references. Hey, I'll say this though. So I don't know. For me, like when I saw James Houston, to me looked. They said he was dealing with something. To me, he looked a little bit stronger. He looked a little bit stronger. this year from what we saw. And I thought it fits in a lot better to just ask him to play like a defensive end. I'd like this. He has a body type that's going to be capable to hold up versus I think what we saw from James Houston when he initially broke out with the Lions, where he was like that pure third down kind of piece for us in just second half of the season. So I'm with you in the sense that there's going to be a role for him. And I think at the same time, I think he's actually built a little bit better to kind of handle what that's going to look like throughout a season. Now, for me, to add on to the point that you made, like for me, I'm a big Marcus Davenport guy. My prediction is he gets an extension after this year. I think he plays that well. I just think he's going to be awesome opposite of Hutch. I think it's like the ideal player on paper to put opposite of Hutchinson. But to that point too, I mean, if we're just talking right depth, like Levi's playing defensive end. And I heard this and I was like, okay, I don't believe that. And then I go there, I'm like, oh, he actually is. Okay, this is weird. So you see things like that, and obviously
like as a 5-tech? Like he's playing defensive end for real?
It's like straight defensive end. If I remember correctly, like I had him at 7 technique at times. I think I had him at a couple 9s. I was like, this guy is like, he's out there. And I was like, this is
wild.
I thought it you hear it and you're like, okay, I hear what they're saying, but I don't know if I believe what they're saying. Like I'm assuming he's playing like a 4-eye, right? He's a little bit inside of tackle. And I'm like, he's not inside of tackle. Like, so there's a mix there. But when you see things like that and you're like, okay, they clearly believe they have the depth, and putting Levi in that role to me kind of simplifies it. Like, yeah, we want a pocket collapser. That's Levi's going to do that against tackles. We'll just make it simple and we'll let him collapse the pocket. He may not have a lot of shake against your tackle, but he's going to knock him back just like Pascal will do. And that's where Houston's value, I think, is so felt on this team, because he can be different. He can be unique. And it's like he can kind of change up everything that we have opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. It's also why, again, I think Davenport's just perfect opposite of Hutch. I think he's just in for such a big, because that's how Davenport plays. He plays with the hair on fire. He just doesn't always look right, but he pushes guys around. So it's like, to me, Davenport will work because it just fits. But Houston has kind of like, he's like a wild card. And I think it's nice to have that wild card. I don't think every team has that. It's like you just throw him in there. And it's like, oh, now you got to deal with this. You got to deal with something a little bit different. I thought that's what he gave us his first year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Hey, man, we're on the same page. We're on the same page with this whole defensive end thing. I'm glad.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Like two different guys with a crazy history with one another are on the same page. One pride forever, baby. One pride forever.
Shout out to James Houston bringing us together.
I don't even know if you being real or not, man. You man.
He did what he did. Look, I was on board. Hey, look, man, I was defending. I was like, yo, James Houston got to make the 53. Then you come in here, James Houston, your guy. Hey, look at that. Shout out to James, because if he didn't make the team, now I'll just be like, oh man. But now here we are.
Exactly. It's like Thanksgiving, bro. It's like Thanksgiving. 2 sacks.
Hey man. Shoot, man. Now I want some bread. Dude. I think. Hey, Chad. I think we hit on everything, man. I think we hit on everything we were supposed to. Was there anything else? I know I've asked you like 3 times. Anything else though? I think we're at a good spot here.
Yeah. I just want to, shout out your channel, man. I know you brought in the subscribers and you brought in the celebrityness, but I just want to say to everybody, this is one of the goats of the space, man. I know he's young. I know he's not syndicate age. I know he's not micro Mike age, but he's been doing this 7 years. One of the goats in the space. And obviously we had an illustrious history, but I love it. I love bringing this together. I love turning this space into one of a creative, loving, respectable space. Because a lot of Lions fans, we argue with one another. But guess what? This is the thing, and I told you before the show, we all want to see the team win. We have different ideas and ideologies of how the team wins, but we all Lions fans. So let's get behind this team. Let's get behind these YouTubers, man. And let's just hear the positive discourse around the team. Like even Adam Beydoun or whoever. Like, let's have a positive discourse with the team and about the team. Shout out to Easy, LNU, Walter Stringer. Like, we all want different things. Syndicate, obviously, with the trades, Micro Mike, with the Rage Quits, Mobby. We all want different things, but we still want one goal. And I love that, bro.
Hey, man. Well said. That was good. I'm glad this happened. And maybe we're going to leave it there, man. So anybody that's just joining, man, if you're looking for the practice squad stuff, probably like 20 minutes in, I think we put the list on the screen. And the camera looked good though. The green screen, like, you feel way more zoomed in though. Did you change your camera? I feel
okay. I gotta get a new webcam. This thing was $120 and it's not even worth 10% of that. Okay.
Is that your computer? Is that like your computer?
Oh yeah, this the MacBook. This the MacBook. But this
MacBook doing work.
Look, hey man, look, man. it's when it's zoomed up like this and it's showing my pimples and stuff. I don't like that, man. I like to look fresh. I like to have a DuPont finish on my on my skin. And speaking of mustaches, man, skin like yours is looking really good, man. You looking like a coach, man.
Yeah, it's been a work in progress, man. This is 7 years right here. You talk about the 7 years. This is all 7 of them on the face. No, hey, bro, I tell you, man, this looks awful. I shaved this immediately because this looks terrible. But I'm like, bro, at some point I'm gonna look like Mario. We're gonna get there. It's gonna take time. You know what I mean?
It's just gonna take time.
Trust the process.
Hey, at least you ain't losing your hair.
This is true. People have said I have gray hair, but I haven't seen it. They pointed it out. Just ignore those people.
I ain't say all that, bro.
I
ain't say all that.
That's true. I appreciate that.
You know
what I mean? It
I
could be
mean,
a camera issue.
You're a very stunning young man. You're a very stunning young man. You got me going.
Hey, you did. Hey, you did that. I didn't.
I was like, they say I have gray hair. I'm like, bro, I'm dealing with 4C hair over here, bro. Like, what, bro? Trying to be, don't Brad Pitt me, bro. Don't Brad Pitt me, okay?
Hey, I'm gonna do this. Okay, on the way out, chat. Let us know what's your favorite movie. It's the way out.
My favorite movie?
Yeah, your favorite movie. What is it?
Dude, would it be silly if I said Endgame or Black Panther? Because I don't think I really saw no movies. Okay. They've all been Marvel movies. Like, I wish I had them. Oh man, come on, man. Come on, man. I'm the dude with the whole collection. I'm the dude with the Iron Man. It's like Iron Man, bro. I need another channel, bro. I need some movie stuff. I just talk about Marvel. I get paid. You get paid from that. Good residuals. Good, But what's yours?
It's not Marvel. You know what? See, and that's the thing. Like, there's I feel bad every time everybody brings up Marvel because I don't watch superhero movies like at all. So I feel kind of bad. It ain't me, man. I don't want to watch it. I've seen the original Superman though, and I rock with it. So I always feel like I should give it a chance. But like
Superman?
people just assume people assume, and that's makes be like, oh man, remember he was in Batman? Oh, dude, I remember that. It's like, dude, I don't remember that at all. I don't even know what you're talking. I don't even know the plot of Batman. To be really honest with you, dog, I don't know.
Okay.
Hey,
what? Okay, so no judgment. What's your favorite movie? Yeah. Just like
I think my favorite movie right now is still Taken. That's
Taken?
A crazy answer, but
that's okay. That's okay. You have 5 minutes.
Hey, I got the poster. I got the autograph. That's it for me, man.
Hey, look, that's gonna be a good intro. You put that voiceover. I have a special set of skills, and you bring in Jared Goff. I got a special set of skills. Hey, bro, intro guy. I'm the intro guy, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Oh wait, you writing it down? You gonna still
write it down? Yeah,
there you go.
In there if we have to.
Yeah, please, just say produced. Produced, man. Put my name somewhere, man.
You screen shot, you screen record, send me the clip, bam, you're producing. All right,
yeah, I got you. I got you.
All right, Chad, we're gonna get out of here, man. Appreciate y'all joining, and I don't know when we'll be back. We'll be back soon.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely, bro.